What's up? So, because I'm doing absolutely nothing today, I figured I probably just talk as much as I don't want to. Um, I've been trying to do daily vlogs. So what am I gonna do today? What am I gonna, what I mean? I've been laying down all day, doing absolutely nothing. So, I figured there's a lot that is going through my mind, so I might as well express it. Even though some of it's probably going to be repetitive with things I've already said. So the reason why I'm not doing anything, I currently don't have a job, and I was working at Taco Bell for one day. My intentions was to work there at least a week and get a week's worth of paycheck. But even though I was scheduled, I just was like, I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? The the closing shift is pretty bad just because it's like, my back was hurting, and Taco Bell's my first job, and 30 to be 30 and still working there for an actual paycheck, not just because, you know for content reasons. Like to me, it was just like I couldn't even last a week. But I did get another job at Family Dollar too, so that plays a part where it's like I got hired at Family Dollar. Right now, I'm just waiting for the background check to go through, and then they're gonna give me a schedule. The problem with Family Dollar is the schedule's not gonna really work for me because she wants me to work. She said days and nights. When I worked at Dollar Tree, I was always working in the morning, so I had the set schedule, and that was more beneficial. If with Family Dollar, I kind of wanted to be able to get a second job as well. So all I need is a set schedule, and then I can figure out how I could work around that. Anyways, outside of just waiting to figure out what happens with that, I've been applying for a few different jobs. But my current situation though, 30 years old, man. I don't feel too old. I think the numbers is really what's kind of, you know, and then I think just my experience in life too is just like, I haven't figured it out, and not everyone figured it out and gets to where they feel like they want to be and need to be. But like I've made a lot of mistakes, especially publicly, with the controversy, my reputation, just personal choices with friends and family. Like I have so much things that's going on in my life that's not where I want it to be. And just me as an individual, as internally as a person, kind of like really fighting against myself or being a better person, but also wanting to survive too, and survival really requires selfishness. So trying to be for myself, but then thinking about I don't want to be too selfish. It's just a hard balance because, in life, people gonna hurt you, but you're gonna hurt people as well. So, it's it's not easy for anybody, right? And I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, damn, like I have no ambition to do anything that involves, employment. Most employment, just because it's like I got to think about whatever it is I do. I gotta do that for the rest of my life until I retire. Am I really willing to do that? Do I want to do that? I probably should, because if I don't, then the choices I'm probably gonna consider making is not gonna be safe. It's gonna be risky. And that's I don't want to. I'm tired. I don't want to make risky choices in life. I want to be stable. Um, but let me get on. Let me think about it, because I kind of briefly thought about what I'm gonna talk about. About in this vlog. Relationships. I think that was one thing that was really bothering me, because I haven't made. I'm part of the problem too, and I'm trying to understand life and the way how things are, why things are the way they are, and I made poor choices that made people want to separate themselves from me, and I feel like people are a certain way that made me want to separate. I feel like people weren't supportive enough, or loving enough or didn't have enough empathy or understanding. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted some people to support me even when I was right or wrong, things of that nature. Because I just feel like if I ever did accomplish the things I want to accomplish, once you get to a certain level of success, you have there's entitlement that come with that. So, I kind of just don't like the idea that I kind of have to find a way to be a better person with the people that I care about that I know that wasn't supporting me right or wrong. Because there's been times where I try to do things the right way, and then that didn't work, and then now that I'm doing things kind of the wrong way, that what I'm saying, people gonna come around and then they're gonna just use you until you're useless is what I'm trying to say. And it might be people that love you too. At the same time, it's kind of like I was kind of feeling guilty too, a lot of because I'm like, damn, like, I was just thinking about, like, I'm kind of just sitting here laying down on my phone on social media, going through people like from high school, just relationships that I felt like I had decent relationships with people, but I know that there's a lot of people that don't respect me as much as they used to, or at all, because of choices that I made, which I could understand controversially, like the controversy. I know there's a lot of people that don't respect that, and I think that it might not just be that. It could have people going through their own problems that got them feeling like, everybody out here on their own. And unfortunately, everyone is on their own to some extent. Some people might have more support than others, but we all going through our own problems. We all getting older. Experience, like, life will just do that to you, where you just feel like you can't trust nobody. It's hard who to trust, who to love, who to be around, and you kind of grow out of certain people too. And that's just part of life. So I was just kind of hurting because it's like, I'm getting tired of isolating myself. I'm not really an antisocial person. You know what I'm saying? At least when I was younger, I was never antisocial. And I became that. And I'm like, damn. And I'm looking at, the direction that I'm going in. I don't see myself changing. I don't see myself. I only see them. The only way people gonna ever be around me if I have something to offer to them. So it's not until I get real older, and if I am in a point where I have something to offer to people, the only people that's ever really gonna be around me is the people that I have something to offer to. This is actually not true. Shout out to my boy Lo. Lo is one of my friends that I grew up with, that, throughout the years, he's definitely reached out to me just to have a conversation and have a relationship. Now, often, when I go viral, that's when people tend to reach out to me. And it kind of makes sense, out of sight, out of mind. But Lo has definitely been somebody that, wanted to have a relationship with me, even though we live out of state. And that was really one of my boys. And I also have a few other friends, and I have a cousin for sure that just want to have a relationship with me. And sometimes I'm the problem too, because with the controversy, I really separated myself away from a lot more people because, they weren't understanding and supporting me right or wrong. And in fact, when I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying? So I had a big issue with that, because it's like a lot of people really didn't know what was going on with me. But again, that's kind of like a here and there. Like, I understand where they coming from, but anybody that's really been around me should know that, like, I was telling people this was coming. So that goes into a lot where, and we're getting a lot older, where, people got bills to pay too. So we can't just be hanging out like we was kids and stuff. So, I was watching this, and I got to correct the fact that, everybody's not going to be around me solely because it's beneficial. But when you're financially stable and you're beneficial, people are going to become, it's gonna be easier for people to come around. So that's why I kind of feel the way I feel. But I definitely have friends and family that just want to have a relationship with me and not expecting any type of financial gain. Unfortunately, when you do when you do have a sense of success, people are gonna want, it's only natural for people to want to be around you a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way too, so I can't blame anyone for that. But I just wanted to correct the fact. Shout out to my boy Lo, and a few other people as well. But yeah. How do I feel about that? Am I really willing to accept that? Because nobody has anything to offer to me right now as far as in the direction that I want to go in. People tell me to do, people that do come to me with advice, they're always trying to point me in a direction I don't want to go in, which unfortunately their advice might be more realistic. I've always had pipe dreams, you know. I always, you know, narcissistic type of like really wanting to make it to the NFL, wanting to be a rapper, wanting to be a content creator. Like these are dream jobs that really are probability not most people are not gonna make it. And obviously I'm definitely most people, man. I definitely didn't make it. And I can look back at some things where I wasn't good enough when it came to football and things like that. So basically I'm saying I'm just doing a lot of reflecting right now in my life. And kind of really I'm really concerned for myself because it's like it's only a matter of time until I'm homeless, right? How long can I you know live under I'm literally sleeping on the floor right now, you know what I mean? I have no money, and I said that in like I mean I didn't say it, but like in one of the last video I made or the video before that, you know, I screenshotted my bank account. I have 82 cents and my checking and my savings is $5 overdraft. My Cash App, you know, I got like 33 cents in there. So that's literally how much money I have. I don't have no cash, no nothing. I'm completely broke right now. That's my fault. I'm a gambling addict. That's the consequences of it, of the choices that I've made, you know, gambling addiction, not, you know, that's mainly, but you know, not having a good self-discipline with investing my money, and the money that I did invest, keeping my money invested. You know, I put money into stocks, crypto, and I cash it out. I even, you know, was set up, you know, when I had my job, I even set up 401k because I was actually trying to keep that job, you know, the real job, the working at A Loft Hotel. But, you know, made poor choices. So this is where I'm at, and I have to accept that, you know. Also looking at who I'm becoming as a person, you know, when it comes to females. I hate to say this, but truthfully, because I've been rejected throughout my whole life, even though as a person, like, you know, I wasn't, as a guy, like I wasn't always, I could be honest that I'm not the best guy that women would be attracted to for within reason, like my confidence, my physical appearance, my height. I understand that, you know, I can understand why females will pass me up on that, but then it's just the provider type of aspect where women will pass by that if a man has some financial stability. Clearly, I have no financial stability, but by the time I get that, if I get that, my desire to provide for a woman is not there. I have no interest in providing for a woman, and that becomes a serious problem as a man where that is your role. And with that being said, it's like if I know that I have no interest in no desire to provide for a woman the way I used to, I need to really keep in mind that I won't be able to maintain a healthy relationship with a woman because my insecurities are stronger than my desire to love and sacrifice. You know, I just have too many reasons to believe and that assure me that the average woman, especially women that I'm attracted to, or just women in general, they're not coming around me because they're interested in me and they want to nurture me. They're coming around me because I can nurture them. You know, I could provide for them, I could protect them, I could secure them. And that's mainly going to be what determines their decision on whether to be with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not my personality, because I'm so far much of a worse of a person as a man than I was 5 years ago, 6, 7, like, but I was still dead broke. You know what I'm saying? Even with 2 jobs. I mean, again, I always was a gambling addict, so it wasn't like I was broke. I was just, I didn't have good structure for myself. But women didn't know that. The girls that I was trying to talk to, they didn't know that. They didn't know I was gambling. So, you know what I mean? Again, I never had a car too. So again, when I noticed that, and when these are the things that I consider on, like, okay, so if I ever do get a girl's attention, it's for reasons that I'm not willing to accept, you know, which makes me just feel like I have my best option is to really kind of be like a player, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to end up involving myself with too many women where I have multiple kids by women that I can't, I just don't want to be in that position, and I don't want lust to take control over me where I could see myself getting too carried away with that, being in a position where I can have access to the type of women that I want, and it's just not going to work, right? So that's something that I'm like, damn, relationships, like that, the idea of romantic relationships, that's kind of over for me, for multiple reasons. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. When it comes to my friends, we all got our own problems, man. And I'm not trying to deal with nobody's problems because I don't really feel like too many people trying to deal with mine. That might be understandable, it might not be. It depends on how you look at it. Like I said, like, people don't want to be around you until it's beneficial, and then they feel entitled to you, and it's like, it's not, they're entitled to your success, but not, again, I've been trying to look at it from different ways. Life, we all got our own problems, man, and get some lack of support to some degree. So it's hard trying to figure it out on your own, and ain't nobody gonna take care of you more than you gonna take care of you. So we all have to be selfish to an extent. So let me see if there's anything else to talk about, because after this, again, I'm only talking because I'm trying to just upload videos at least every day, and today is just a day that I'm doing nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing, but just sitting here on my phone. I was just going through YouTube, going through social media, watching videos, seeing what everybody else doing in their life, because I'm doing nothing. And I think I'm really scared for myself too. Just, I'm not going in the right direction at all. Because as time goes by, even my current situation right here is not, it's not stable. So I got to figure it out, you know what I mean? And I allow myself to get comfortable under the circumstances that I'm currently in, which is terrible. I think 5 years from now, 5 years ago, if I was to see where I'm at now, I would feel completely different than how I feel right now. Because I'm kind of, you get used to kind of living in any kind of circumstance. I think, you see people, there's people living in third world countries where that's all they know. That's their everyday to day life. And as an American, I could never imagine myself living in a third world country with nothing. And but those people, they adapt to that. That doesn't mean that they don't acknowledge that they're living in terrible conditions, but I'm pretty sure they adapt to that, because I'm living in terrible conditions more than I actually talk about. My conditions is actually worse than what I ever show or talk about, but I've adapted to how I'm living right now, and it's very sad. That's not okay. And it needs to push me. That's something that I need to use, and I try to use as motivation to grind harder. But because I have no actual ambition for anything specific that's like realistic, like career path, plumber, electrician, anything, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a desire for that. Because if I do that, I also have to consider the fact that I got to do that for the rest of my life. And there's been times where I wanted to consider that. I wanted to, consider getting a trade or get some kind of job. But it's just the idea that, like, I have to accept that I failed at my dreams and content creating and things like that, to even try to work a job full time and be part time as a content creator. And even as a content creator, I don't have real structure on what I want to do as a content creator. So I'm really lost and trapped and stuck, and I gotta blame myself. I gotta really blame myself for the lack of not just ambition and determination that I lack, but like sense of like self-awareness as far as in who I am and what do I want, financially, career-wise. What do I really want? I kind of just want to live for free, bro. I just don't want to, and I'm living for free now, but I don't want to live for free under these conditions. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't okay. So it's kind of like, damn, like things could be worse for me, but they're getting worse for me as time goes by. That's just life, you know. And really trying to stay away from controversy, because that's like a little cheat code that kind of is like, it works, but it comes with it's like walking through fire a little bit, you know what I mean? It's like I gotta throw away my morals, I gotta throw away my self-respect, which I've already have, and it kind of gets easier and easier to do it because my reputation is already bad and I can never fully recover from it. But that doesn't mean I really want to go back out there in the wild and start acting crazy and, you know, doing all of this crazy stuff. Like, you know, I do want to limit that to what I'm so deep into it, though, especially after the whole Subway controversy. I'm deep in this shit, you know. No friends. Anybody that thinks negative of me, it is what it is. If people were to switch their opinion, I'm not going to trust them. I'm not going to respect them. So I kind of feel like I can never fully recover, because even if I did recover, it's only because of my success that is really changing people's minds, not really who I actually am. You know what I'm saying? Because if I got millions and millions of views throughout the internet, tens of millions of views, but I'm only getting thousands of views on my pages, that just lets me know that most people they're not concerned or care at all of who I am as a person. They're only paying attention to the controversy, but that's what I signed up for. So, you know, I'm just very much like ashamed of myself. You know, not just ashamed, but like just hating myself for allowing myself to not be better, or not being better, and being able to have better foresight and being able to see, because I knew things was going bad. I knew things was going downhill for me. I don't know, man. I'm scared, bro. Like, it's hard to say, because when I really think about it, I really get scared, because when I'm starting to look at the reality of how things are playing out and the way how I am as a person, where I really don't want to work a job. I don't want to work a career. I don't want a career. I don't want one, you know, and that's a problem, you know, because, you know, we all don't get what we want in life, and you got to do what you got to do. And, you know, for me to just think, well, I'm just going to result into going crazy on the internet, hoping that might work. It's just too many years have gone by. I've done too much, and I don't want to do any more. But realistically, if I'm gonna take them chances, I got to take those chances, and I just don't want to, and I shouldn't. But what are my options? If I know I'm not going to just settle, if I'm not going to settle, then I got to work hard. I got to grind hard. But I don't know where to grind and where to work towards. Being a rapper, man, I don't see that. That ain't going to work. So being a content creator, there's so many different things to do, but I just don't know. I just don't know how to feel. What can I identify with? So I'm gonna just leave it at that, because it really just, at this point, I don't know what else to say. And I'm pretty sure throughout my videos that I've already said these things before. So, but yeah, this is like 20-minute vlog. Just expressing what I'm thinking, thoughts and emotions. That's it, man.